In a world where one woman tries to start a podcast,
how will I ever do this on my own?
she thought she would have to get expensive equipment.
What? I can do all of this on a free app?
She thought she would have to find creation tools all over the internet.
You mean it can all be contained in an app on my phone and computer?
She thought she would have to do all her own distribution.
You mean to tell me this app is going to send it to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all those other platforms for me?
She thought she would never make any money.
I don't have to wait for a minimum listenership to monetize?
She thought that she would have to find all kinds of different equipment and pieces.
But I'm going to download this free Anchor app and get started today.
Visit Anchor.fm and download the free Anchor app to be just like her, the ultimate podcaster.
Hello and welcome to the Lou Review. Today I am here with Joe Phillips, owner of Common House Hall, as well as Pints Union in Indiana. And I also have Carrie Johns, his artist. And we're going to talk to her in the next episode as well. No, she's like, I don't only belong to Joe as an artist. Yes, but we're going to talk about how their works have overlapped in these two different restaurants and the shape the vision going forward. So, Joe, can we get an introduction from you? Like, are you originally from Indiana?
No, not at all. I'm originally, I was born in Cleveland.
Okay.
And then I spent some formative years in California, and I've been in Louisville since 1991.
Okay.
Yeah, I've moved to Indiana, about 4.5 years ago.
All right. Did you move here specifically to start Pints Union?
They kind of coincided at the same time. I was kind of on
Okay.
the fence where we were going to move, and I was starting to build out Pints Union, and we were looking at houses on both sides of the river, and one thing led to another, and we wound up in New Albany.
Okay. So luckily you found a house as well as a place for your restaurant at the
Yep.
same time. Okay, good.
Full Indiana over here. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to explain the concept for Pints Union first?
Pints Union basically was my adoration and love for pubs, and I just wanted to bring one kind of into the 21st century. A lot of them are closing and dying off, and I didn't want to see that happen, so I wanted to create one that could move forward with younger generations.
Yeah, and it seems like a very family-friendly pub.
Yes, very.
Like, I would bring my kids there, and you've got board games upstairs, and you don't have very unpredictable programming on the TVs. Are you still doing the vintage TV
We
shows?
turned it into a draft list now, so we put our draft list up visually instead of the chalkboards.
Oh, okay.
Upstairs and downstairs.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll still do random movies or cartoons or whatever because we miss them and we love them. But we actually tested it there to get it ready for here.
Oh, okay.
So Pints has been a little bit of a guinea pig in certain ways for Common House.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciated that environment because, I don't know, it was really unique. Also, the food was just utterly delicious, which is really what made me come over the river from Louisville and include you in the Lou Review because it was worth it.
That was the goal, give something Louisville it didn't have, you know.
And an English style pub, right?
Yeah, my family has a lot of English and Welsh heritage, and it's something I connect with.
Like, in addition to fish and chips, you also have like Indian food options and.
Yeah, we finally decided to lean into the curry house pub identity, and we had always had tikka on the menu, and Southern Indiana didn't have any Indian food. We're not trying to be an Indian restaurant, clearly.
Right.
But it suits us, and it was the right timing, and so we leaned into it. We'll keep going more in that direction too.
Well, good, because can't get enough of that.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right. So then, you were doing Pints Union during COVID. You started it before?
Yep.
So what year was it you started Pints Union?
It's been open 4 years in August.
Okay. And had you run a restaurant before that?
I've been in the service industry since I was 15.
Okay.
Yep. So
And then
in Louisville.
in Louisville. Okay. And then came over. So how long were you open before COVID hit?
We were a year and a half old
Okay.
when COVID hit.
What do you wish you had known before you had opened?
That I didn't have to burn as hard as I did. I don't know if that counts. No, I don't know. I mean, in reference to a pandemic, nothing. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, you can't plan for that.
You know, the universe is a funny place. I have nothing to complain about.
But you had all this restaurant or food business experience before.
Yeah.
So how did that change owning your own brick and mortar in a different state than you had been in previously? Did anything take you by surprise?
I think people's sometimes lack of vision or acceptance of one another. Indiana and Louisville have this ridiculous thing, this kind of feud almost. It's getting better. Most certainly it's better than it was.
Good.
But yeah, it's pretty wild how the region has such an issue about getting over one of 4 bridges.
Yes.
And we joke that we need to make a t-shirt that says it's a bridge, get over it. That's how we're going to become famous, is some stupid t-shirt. But
yeah,
it really is, because you've got 2 you can walk across, right? I mean, and that
true.
part to me was pretty wild. But I'm learning every day, so it's kind of hard to isolate just one thing, I think. You know, I could criticize myself for days, but of what I could have done better. I think if anything, I probably didn't need to change as much as I changed. I did a lot of events. I threw a lot of energy at it, a lot of intensity. I could have taken it slower, but you know, that's irrelevant. You know?
But you know what? You were passionate for it, and you went for it. You know,
Yeah,
that's great.
very. I live it. It's not like a hobby.
And then you met Carrie doing like mural for Pints Union. Is that correct?
Yeah, she was doing murals around town, and I thought, like, that lady looks crazy. Just kidding. I just had to throw something in there.
That's totally on brand for us.
No, I liked what she did, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in this project? And we were all in it at that point, you know, in COVID, and then one thing just led to another, and it kind of kept going. She understood my vision. I understood her artwork and how she translates, and you know, just like
And then you worked into reworking the Pints Union logo, right?
Yeah.
And then how did the vision for Common House, this German beer hall, come out of that, or is that something that had already been ruminating in your mind?
Yeah, I apparently have been talking about this for like 20 years.
Apparently, like people let you know, we wondered when you were going to actually do that.
Yeah, literally. I had an ex from like decades ago be like, I remember when you were talking about this. It's crazy. I'm like, wow, I'm glad you do, because I don't. But
if you wrote down everything you said.
Yeah, I used to, but not anymore. I don't remember anything. I really liked Bavarian and German restaurants, and I liked the feeling. You know, there was a little bit of German, my great grandmother, and everything I do is really based on food memories or hospitality. You know, like both the restaurants have
Are you trying to
elements.
recreate an experience that you had
Childhood.
and share that with other people?
Childhoods, you know, and I had talked about doing it in Germantown, because Germantown doesn't have anything German.
Which
really.
is the most ironic thing
Yes,
ever.
yes. It just didn't work. And then when I was at Pints, there was a building close to us that I could have taken, but I didn't want to be down the street from myself with kind of 2 Eurocentric concepts. Didn't seem to really make any sense. So when my landlord acquired this building specifically spoke to me. And so I've designed it really intentionally. Like every single thing is super intentional floor by floor, space by space, and so it,
So for Common House, what is your intention for the first floor?
it's more just traditional dining, like guest house or other places, It's
And that's where the main beer hall is, or is this more?
We have beer both places, but the first floor has 10 drafts. It's full service. You can be waited on. Has a few more large entrees than the beer garden menu, but it's almost identical. It's reservation driven, so it's calm and you can have kind of that intimate experience. And if you can't do stairs, a lot of things,
That's fair.
And then the second floor is the beer hall, 18 drafts, communal seating. So you sit together again, especially after COVID and all the things we've been through, getting together, meeting strangers, just having fun.
Yeah, we're sitting at a long table here, so if you're going to sit down here, it's not because you're here with your own party of 10, like you're just going to be joining whoever's here to meet people and
Just hang out.
socialize and enjoy it together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a very positive experience. And it's counter service, so it's pretty straightforward, And then we have a room in the back that's probably about 45 to 50 people it can seat, that we can do rentals and like euchre tournaments and baby showers and birthday parties and
We might have to talk about Bunko.
all of the things.
Good one.
Yeah.
We had 40 women signed up to come to Bunko at my house, and I was like, I don't know how much of a fire hazard that is.
Yeah.
So, and when you have an elevator, right? Do you have
No,
an
we
you
have
don't
stairs.
have an
We don't have
elevator.
an elevator.
Stairs.
Stairs.
Okay. But there's restrooms on the first floor and second
And
floor.
Yep.
So that's good.
And then the
Yeah.
third floor is a rental space for wedding ceremonies, receptions, private parties, whatever. We can
Yeah.
do anything up there and be creative. So
And there's I gotta say, for people who have not yet seen the pictures, you should look at my pictures from when we visited. There's some beautiful views of the aforementioned bridges that you can see from those windows. So if you want to take some pictures from those windows at your events with the bridges in the background, that's just something I noticed up there.
the backdrop for we talk about a lot, like for weddings, the photographs on the third floor. The backdrop is the Louisville skyline.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Carrie, has he been too self-effacing in this? Is there anything you think he should get some credit for?
Who, Tim?
Joe? Yeah.
No, never.
No, I
No.
don't think so. He's very good at what he does.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you meeting with me today. And so if there was, is there anything that I didn't ask you about that you want to make sure gets out?
The menu is designed by Jonathan Exum. He's my chef.
Jonathan Exum.
He's wonderfully fantastic human being and super talented chef.
His schnitzel is out of this world.
He makes everything by hand. He is brilliant. We collaborated on ideas, but the menu is absolutely his.
And it is amazing.
I never want that to be confused. I don't.
Well,
cook.
that's good clarification.
Yeah, I don't cook full time anymore. I mean, I am cooking full time, but I'm not the executive chef. I don't.
And he will stay on here
Yes.
as the chef? Okay. All right. He wasn't just designing it, because I know some people come in and design a menu, but then they go.
No,
Okay,
he
so
runs
he's
the
gonna
show.
stay?
Yeah, he runs
And just
the show.
here,
Yes.
not at
Correct.
Pints Union.
Troy Stewart is my chef at Pints Union,
Okay.
and I work with the two of them now. So
Fantastic.
yeah, it needs to always be very clear. My staff is amazing,
Yes.
and they deserve all the credit in the world, and so I always want to make that very clear.
Good.
Yeah. My front of house too. I mean, they're incredible professionals. My general manager, Charles Crump, is amazing. The bartenders, I mean,
So many people I've asked, like, what brought you to work here? And they're like, I came here to work for Joe because. So where did all this loyalty come from? Where are they coming from that they met
it's a
you?
$1 million question, isn't it?
I know there's like 20 different people, so obviously they all have different
I don't
stories, but
understand it.
you have a great rapport with your staff where they're leaving other jobs to come work industry jobs with you.
I believe that they're human beings, and I believe that they should be looked after, and I believe that their voice matters, and I think I've been them, you know, and I have all the respect in the world for them, because, you know, there is no me, there's only an us, and without them, I can't do what I do. Without me, they can't. You know, I mean, it's the unity. We're all the same. You know, nobody works for me, ever. They work with me. So, I don't know. I don't know. You know.
You didn't know they were going around saying that? Okay. Well, now you know.
You know, I spend most of my time in my head criticizing how I could have done things better, and refining.
Which probably helps you have even better end products later.
Yes, always.
Not necessarily the best way to feel all the time.
No, but, you know, without sacrifice, there is no gain, you know. And seeing them happy and hearing that they're happy that's probably one of the only times that I feel like I've succeeded, is if they are motivated to do what they do and that they feel good about being where they are and who they are, then I feel like maybe I've done a little bit of something okay, you know, because they matter so much more than I think a lot of the general public understands.
I agree. Yeah. I worked as a server for years before nursing school and during nursing school. And then I became glorified server as a nurse, where it's like, let me give this blood product, but also get you your ice water stat. So thank you for maintaining that appreciation and seeing people as a person.
Yeah.
No matter what their job is.
No, they're the glue. I mean, they are what makes the general public feel good. I mean, it's hospitality. And
so many people miss going out to restaurants during COVID, and they're missing that because it's created by that service industry, like the people who are making it happen. You can't just like go in a building and have a good experience, unless maybe you're ghost hunting. I don't know. That's a different experience. They're incredible, you know, and they matter. And we do things a little different. We're working on building it this year, but it's in play. We're doing PTO, not a paid vacation. We're doing an HSA card after 90 days. I care about my staff when they're not here. And it's not my job to be in anybody's personal life, but it is part of my job to set you up to hopefully have, you know, a great work life, and that work life influence your personal life positively, not work 80 hours a week and you don't have time for anything, or you can't go to the doctor, or your dog died and you just need 2 days off, but you can't afford to take 2 days off. Well, you have PTO. You can do whatever you need to do for you, and I'm not here to dominate you. We just have to make sure that this works together. You know? And I never had that. And so I want to create the things that I also never had, you know, and it's very simple, actually. Yeah, you see a need and you're trying to meet that need. That's great.
You know.
Well, thank you for your service to the community by creating these beautiful works of art and places that people want to work in the service industry, because everybody knows that's hard to come by right now. Nobody wants a service job. So if people are flocking to do that here, that's something special that you should be proud of. So
I am. I think the general public learned a little bit, you know. I mean, they ran off predominantly, you know, owners that overworked people, managers that overworked people, and then the general public treating people so poorly during COVID that, you know, they just couldn't deal with it anymore, you know. And I think maybe the general public's a little more appreciative, I hope, of us, but I don't tolerate that attitude from guests. So
that's good.
You're not allowed to demean my staff ever, you know. So I think we can be a little bit safer, you know, I hope.
Creating a safer space for everybody. That's great.
Yeah.
So we all just enjoy it together.
Just be kind. It's not hard.
Right.
It takes a lot more energy to be angry than it does to be kind to someone.
You know, I feel that way.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for this interview, and stay tuned for the next episode where we speak to Carrie Johns about her artistry career and some overlap with Joe's Restaurants and where we're headed next. And so subscribe to the Lou Review, and be sure to follow Pints Union and Common House Hall on Instagram and Facebook to see any updates. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.